The relationship advice that tells you to compromise and put your partner first is actually destroying the very connection you're trying to build. And that classic advice to never go to bed angry often just leads to a very sleepy, very grumpy argument at 2 a.m. What if the healthiest thing you can do for your relationship isn't learning to merge into one person, but learning to remain two whole people who choose connection? Last episode, we explored how parenting becomes easier when you lead yourself first. Today, we're diving into adult partnerships where the same principle applies, but the stakes often feel even higher. The family reset moments we practiced in the last episode become even more crucial here. Because unlike with children, in healthy adult relationships, both people need to be managing their own internal state while staying connected. I'm Dr. Cara. Here's what I've observed. Most relationship problems aren't actually relationship problems. They're two people with disconnected self-leadership trying to use the other to feel whole. This creates what I call relationship debt. The accumulation of resentment and exhaustion from trying to control your partner or abandoning yourself to keep the peace. You're feeling the slow burn of resentment in your relationship, and you don't know why. You're seeing the classic signs of codependency, but feel trapped. The underlying pattern is the same. You're trying to control your partner's experience because you haven't learned to manage your own. Here's what transforms relationships. You can only control 50% of any relationship, but that 50% is more powerful than you realize. Let me share a moment from my own life that taught me the difference between connection and control. Years ago, my then partner was going through an incredibly stressful period at work. My initial response was, fix it. I essentially became a one-woman consulting firm for his life, offering unsolicited strategic plans and 24/7 emotional support, whether he wanted it or not. What I thought was love was actually me trying to control his experience because I couldn't handle my own discomfort with his struggle. I was accumulating massive relationship debt. I thought I was being the perfect partner, but I was actually suffocating the connection with my help. And the wake-up call came in the form of 9 simple words that changed everything. He stopped me mid-sentence and said, I don't need you to solve this. I just need you to be here with me. His words hit me like lightning. I was performing support instead of offering connection. That night, I used my framework. Receive. I noticed my intense need to make his pain better and received his actual request, not for solutions, but for presence. Perceive. I realized that my fixing wasn't about his needs. It was about my anxiety. I was trying to control his experience to manage my own discomfort. Respond. Instead of advice, I simply said, this sounds really hard. Tell me more. By staying connected to my own center, instead of merging into his emotional state, I actually became more available for genuine connection. I could hold space for his struggle without taking it on as my own problems to solve. Connected partnership starts with each person managing their own internal states. Decades of groundbreaking research, like the incredible work from the Gottman Institute, have shown us that the most successful couples aren't the ones who don't fight. They're the ones who master the art of repair. My receive, perceive, and respond framework is your tool for that conscious repair, starting with yourself. Receive in relationships mean pausing before taking on your partner's emotions. When they're upset, you can receive their perspective without immediately defending yourself. Perceive means examining your own triggers. Are you reacting to what's actually happening or to stories from past relationships? Respond means taking action from your authentic self rather than from fear or control. The paradox is the more connected you are to yourself, the more available you become for genuine connection with your partner. The difference between connection and codependency is this. Connection means staying true to yourself while being present with your partner. Codependency means abandoning yourself to manage their emotional state. Healthy partnership requires differentiated connection, the ability to be close without losing yourself. I want to be really transparent here. This isn't just theory from me. I'm speaking from lived experience. Lessons that I learned through the painful and powerful process of a marriage ending. I learned you can love someone deeply and still not be the right partners for each other. I learned that the greatest act of self-leadership is choosing your own wholeness, even when it's heartbreaking. True, healthy connection is possible, but it starts with the work we're doing right here. When you practice this, conflicts become opportunities for deeper understanding, not battles. Your relationship becomes a place where both people can flourish individually while choosing to connect. You develop secure interdependence, relying on each other while maintaining your individual strength. The quality of your relationship is directly related to the quality of connection each person has with themselves. Next episode, we're exploring friendships and community. How do you show up authentically in social situations without losing yourself to people pleasing? I'll share what I've learned about the difference between people pleasing and genuine belonging. This week, practice the relationship RPR during one challenging conversation. Here's what I'm curious about. Where do you notice yourself trying to control your partner's responses? Or where do you abandon your authentic self to keep the peace? Share in the comments. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to creating healthier dynamics. Remember, you can only control 50% of any relationship, but that 50% is more powerful than you realize. Lead yourself well.